you have heard or read anything about Loren? Okay, so everybody, all right.
We bought a sign.
You bought a sign, okay, there you go. Very good. So before I talk about Loren's campaign, I'd like to share a little bit about me and who I am. You know, the number one thing when it comes to supporting a candidate, especially at the gubernatorial level, is viability, right? You want somebody who can actually win the race. And Loren Culp can win the race. And I know this because I've spent probably the better part of 20 years working in politics. In 2016, I worked for the President of the United States, who was then candidate Trump in Oregon. I was the Oregon State Political Director there, and I ran all the operations throughout the state of Oregon. I spent some time down in Florida working with his organization down there in Florida, and I can tell you, as difficult as maybe some of you think that Washington is, you have never campaigned in Broward County, or Palm Beach County, or Miami-Dade County. That's the Fallujah of politics, I can tell you that right now. You know, I lived here for a number of years when I was in the United States Navy. After 9/11, I came out, I went down to the local recruiter's office and I joined up and ended up flying on EP3s out of Whidbey Island, Washington for a number of years. And then after I got out, I decided to stay because I love Washington. And frankly, the only reason I left was because it was expensive. Anybody relate? So I was just going through my business, doing my thing back in July, and I was having a conversation with Ted Nugent. And Ted, I was trying to get Ted to support one of my other clients, and he didn't even want to talk about my other client. He's like, "No, Chris, I don't want to talk about that. Do you know who Loren Culp is?" And I was like, "No, but I've got this other guy, and he's like, no, I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about Loren Culp." I was like, "Well, I don't even know who that is. Tell me about him." And so he told me the story about this cop that stood up to the governor, basically gave a big middle finger to the governor and said, "We're not going to do that here." And I was like, "Yeah, I remember seeing that in the news." He said he's running for governor. And I was like, "Really?" And he said, "Yes, I want you to give him a call." When first time I talked to Loren, I just fell in love with the guy. He's just a great person. He's very similar to the president in that he's genuine. He's direct. He just doesn't have the billionaire ego, right? He's a very humble man. What you see is what you get with Loren. And Loren, I've watched him in an advisory role up until this last week. I'm newly taking over this role. We had a management change on Tuesday, and I didn't even know about this event until yesterday afternoon. So when Kim, isn't Kim great for putting this together? Can we just give her a hand? Kim's like, "We've got this thing," and I was like, "Well, what's this thing? I don't even know anything about it." And so she told me, and she's like, "Can you come?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I'll be there." So in an advisory role, I was looking at all the things that Loren has been doing, crisscrossing the state, and people are supporting him everywhere, all over the state. There's not one area of the state that we've not seen strong support. And I'm going to ask you a question. What county in the state of Washington do you think that the Culp campaign has received the most money out of?
King County.
King. That's right. You want to know why? Because in the words of Donald Trump, the place is a shithole. And people are tired of it. They're not changing. They want things to be different. Loren is not politically correct simply because he doesn't know how to be. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys, like, that's the way Donald Trump is. He's not politically correct because he doesn't really know how to be. He just knows how to be who he is. The greatest way to overcome, and I'm not going to be politically correct with you. There are people, we're not just battling different ideas. You know how they try to soften it? It's just a battle of ideas. No, there are some very bad people that are involved in government. At the local level, at the county level, the state level, the national level, the federal level. Some of these people, sure, they're good people, but they just have different ideas, but a lot of them are not good people. I would say the people that intentionally are deceiving folks and lying to folks about stealing land, those aren't good people. Would you agree? Absolutely. Or the people lying about taxes. I'm sorry, you're just not a good person, okay? And what we're seeing is that people, Democrats, are coming in and lining up behind Culp for one specific reason. Because they own guns, they like their weapons, and they don't want to lose them, and they know that they've been lied to, they know that the whole thing was a scam, and even though they don't necessarily agree with everything on the platform, that is their issue. Donald Trump won overwhelmingly in 2016, regardless of what the fake news media wants to tell you. He crushed it in 2016. And the reason he did that was because he did something better. He outsmarted the Democrats in the game that they always win. And that game is this. It is coalitions. It is something, no matter what, if I can give you some help, if you're ever going to run a campaign, you must have coalitions of people. He went and he put together a coalition. My wife is a Latina. She's the founder of Latinas for Trump in Miami, in South Florida. And Latinas for Trump, they grew all through Florida, and then it expanded in different places. Now you have Latinos for Trump. You've got blacks for Trump. You've got all different kinds of people. When he went to West Virginia, he was talking about coal miners. When he went to Wisconsin, he was talking about cheese. You know what I mean? When he's out in different places, he's talking about the issues that matter to the folks. And that's what Loren Culp is going to do in this race over the next year. What you can expect from him, and what you can expect from me as his campaign manager, is openness, directness, honesty, a highly organized effort. I'm a very organized person, to the point that it annoys a lot of people. This campaign has legs. And I don't want to drone on and on, but I just want to encourage you with one last thing. If you go and you look up all the pages of the numbers of people that have given, if you look at all of our opponents, with the exception of the governor, we had, last time I checked, we had 38 pages of donors. Our closest opponent had about 20. And the reason is, and they started before us, and the reason is grassroots work. The people want real. Not just out here. They want it real in Kent County. They want it in Snohomish County. They want it out on the peninsula. They want it out in Spokane. They want it down in Yakima. They want it all over the state. And that's what Loren Culp is going to deliver. That's what you can expect from us. And I very much appreciate Kim. Thank you very much for bringing me out here. It was very kind. I had a great time. And I think we're going to do a panel now, yes? Okay. Thank you very much. One last thing. So if you guys want to sign, there are envelopes on the table. Anybody who gives a donation of $20 or more gets a sign. Just after the event, just come up to me and let me know. I've got a bunch of stuff and collateral in the signs and stuff in the car. Okay? All right. Thank you.